Hi there, Elliot again from Ubiquitous, and in this video, I'll just go over a bit more demo on Docker container and Docker images. And if you're wondering how you can get the same commands and then the command instructions as I do, I have uploaded all these command instructions on my website. If you go to ubiquitous.com, courses Docker, I'll put the link in the description, and then just click this Go to Classroom button because it's a free course. Then you'll have all these instructions. And before we start about the Docker image and container demo, and if I go to Docker Hub, this is Ubiquitous Docker repo, and all the repo names are like Ubiquitous slash name of the project. And then in the name of the project, for example, you can attach several tags. And what is tag? Just think it as the simple namespace so that you can put more names additional to your Ubiquitous, your user ID, and then project name. So that's the name of the image, and then that's the name of the tag for your image. And then you can have multiple repositories like this as well. Now, if I go back to this demo, I'll try to list Docker images first. Then I'll just create a Docker container as I did before. So if I do Docker run -it to attach a terminal, and then the name of the container will be my container, and I'll use Python 3.11. Now I'll start the container. I'll get into this container. Then this is an empty container. I'll create a file called, I don't know, main.py. Print my work is implemented. Then I'll run python main.py, and my work is implemented. Then let's assume this is all your work. Let's try to type, and tree command is not installed. So if I do apt install tree, let's do apt update first. If I try to install tree again, I'll install tree. So if I run tree command, it can print out the tree structure of your current folder. And I have only single main.py, so it's trivial, but that's what tree command does. Now, somehow you want to wrap all these, your work and your program like tree and everything, and then dump into a Docker image. How can you do that? So I'll close this VS Code for Docker container first, and then I'll run Docker commit my CNT because the container name is my CNT. And then I'll give it a new name for Docker image based on this Docker container, my container. So I'll just type my current work. And then it paused, and then it was running again. And while it was paused, there is a new Docker image called my current work. So if I list Docker images, there is new image my current work. So if I'm right, in theory, if I delete this container, and I'll just create a container again based on my Docker image, and then my work should be there. So if I do Docker run it my current work, and then if I do attach VS Code here, the moment of the truth. In folder, go to home. Okay. Then my main.py is there. Thank God. And if I do tree, the tree command is still there because default Python Docker image didn't have tree, but I have installed it and I just dumped it as an image. And that's why I am able to run tree command and as well as Python main.now. If I do Docker images again, I have this image here, but I want to upload it onto my Docker Hub. So to do that, you need to change the name of this so that I can match with this pattern of my Docker Hub naming pattern. So I'll just do Docker tag my current work, and then I'll give it a new name like Ubiquitous example repo and v1. Then something has been created here, but let's just do Docker images again. Then Ubiquitous example repo. The same image ID is shared, the tag is created, and then if I do Docker push, then if I just do tap, it will just autocomplete all that, and the recorder's example autocompleted in v1, and then I'll just push it. However, it will fail. That's because I have not logged in this terminal to my Docker repo. If I do Docker login, type your username. Now I have logged in, and then I'll just push the image again. Now it has been uploaded, and then if I go to my web page for the repo, and there's new example repo has been created, and if I get in there, there's a new tag version 1, and so on. Now if I'm right, again, I'll just delete this image, and then if I do Docker images, I'll do Docker RMI, because I'm going to try to download that image from my repo from the cloud. So I'll just delete this image. I can't because it's relying on 2 images. So I will try to delete this one first, like this one first, which is new one. So Docker RMI, ubiquitous tap, AX tap. I'll just delete that, and then I'll delete RMI, the name again. So if I do Docker images, all this, my work is gone. However, it resides in my cloud. If I go to tags, I can just copy Docker pull all that image. I'll just pull that image again, clear that, and I'll do Docker run again. Docker images, Docker run, ubiquitous example repo, and v1. And then I'll pass an argument like it -it so I can attach the terminal. If I refresh this, there's a new container running. If I attach Visual Studio Code, I'll go to home, and all my work is there. If I do tree command is still working. Python main.py is still working, no problem. Now, the last way to share your Docker image as a compression file. So if I'm running this kind of container, let me just dump this container into a local image again. So Docker commit, then name of this container is my container. And then the new image name will be my current work as before. Then if I do Docker images, it's there. I'm going to create a compression file based on my work. If I do Docker save my current work, then I'll just save that into my work.tar. And then this may take some time, just a few seconds. Now, if I do list all the files, and there's my work.tar, and then I will remove this one so I can prove this my work.tar can be loaded as the same image as before. So I'm going to do Docker RMI this image. There's no my current work image. Then I'll do Docker load my work.tar. Then if I do Docker images again, there is new image created. So to prove that this my current work is came from this container, so I'll just remove it. Then I'll just run Docker, and that'll be it. If I do attach Visual Studio Code, the same file is still there and my work is there. If I do tree, the same command, same environment is still there. So it's, in a way, it's like sharing your project through GitHub. That's all I have prepared for this video. If you like the contents, please hit the like button and consider subscribing the channel. I'll see you in the next video.